Hey, hello everyone. Magical Monday or magical whatever day you're watching this. Whew. So, first question is, how is everybody doing? The full moon energy was pretty intense with Beltane, and again, the Schumann's has just been lighting up like nobody's business over the last week. Well, really the last month, but increased a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on this weekend. So, I don't know, this morning I'm just kind of like, I feel like everything is fighting me. Everything is just challenging. And so I finally got to sit here for a couple of minutes and just breathe. I got my incense, I got my feet on the ground, I got one of my favorite mugs with one of my favorite teas of ginger. So really, when we can connect with our senses, so whether it's the smell of the incense, the warmth of the mug, or even the smell of the tea. I've got my little candle going, so that's flickering. So the more we can come back into the body and get out of the brain and the stories and everything else, the better we can show up, right? Yeah, so, originally, or at one point, I've called this several different things, but I called it Mindless Monday, because we talk about mindful activities, but we don't want the mind to be full. We want to be mindful about what our mind is doing. So that's why I used to call it Mindless Mondays. And then just some of those activities that we can do that will help us get out of our head and more in our senses and back into our bodies. So if you're having one of those days, find 5 things that you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, maybe 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. And that's a great way to get back into the body. That's a really great mindful or mindless technique. Of course, breathing, all those breathing techniques are a great way to get back into the body. Whether it's just a nice big belly breath and slow exhale. And you want your inhale shorter than your exhale. Or maybe it's just observing the breath, watching it go in and back out. It's a great way. This weekend we did sacred movement, Danielle and I did, and it was really spectacular. If you didn't get a chance to join us, we'll be doing some more. I think we're looking at the end of July because June's already booked up. So maybe the end of July, and it was just a way to reconnect with our bodies. We get so busy with everything else, we forget to drop into the body. I'm sorry. So if you can hear that, I swear it's just Sage. She can't get to me, so she's sitting at the top of the stairs whining. Poor baby. But I promise that's all it is. So just moving can be a great way to do so many things. And it doesn't necessarily have to be dance, but just shaking out the shoulders, maybe the head, shaking out the hands, all of those kinds of things. Just moving the energy that may be stuck or itching, like Sage is, or not Sage, Rosie is. Hi. So she is laying down, so hopefully she'll stay there today. So it's just ways, and actually it was kind of crunchy yesterday morning. The Schumann's, I think most of the night, or like a 24-hour period, was just screaming white. And so, plus the full moon. Full moon, it was all about looking at our relationships and what's working and what's not working. Yeah. So that was a lot of yesterday, at least for me. And things that are aggravating or not aggravating or that are working. Of course, our brains love to do what's not working, right? But then to get in and move, and I love to dance, so for me it was all about dancing and moving, and I felt a lot better afterwards. As did most of the ladies that were there, or all the ladies that were there said they felt so much better. Okay. So that kind of leads us into, really, I think a lot of what we've been talking about probably for the last month, or maybe even longer, has been, what are you putting your focus on? Right? I'm pretty sure we've talked about that. So what are some things, not only are you putting your focus on, are you wasting your energy on? I mean, our electronics, right? Eric and I were talking this morning about those TV streaming apps that we have and how they're going up in price, and is it something we want to keep? Because we spend a lot of time on, or not a lot of time on them, but they are just a distraction. And sometimes it's good to come home and just be able to decompress. But there's a lot of other ways that we could be doing that. That's just one of the easiest ways. Doom scrolling. And of course not watching this. Or any of the time that you watch these videos. No. It's a lot of ways for us to distract ourselves from our feelings, from what we may be having conflict with, or what have you. So the question is then, what are you spending time on? And is it something that you need to spend time on? Or do you want to spend it somewhere else? Or do you need to do something else? Or if you find yourself doom scrolling, what are you avoiding? Or are you just procrastinating? Because you're avoiding doing something, right? And so those are the questions when we really start tapping in, that we can start making changes. And all morning I've been hearing the quote by Wayne Dyer, and I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it's something about how when we change how we see things, the things that we see change. I'm pretty sure that's it, word for word. If it's not, it's pretty close to it. And so when we have those things, like a couple of weeks ago when I was just being triggered and I couldn't get out of it. But being able to come back and just, okay, what is this teaching me? What do I need to look at? What do I need to know? And when I'm done here, maybe I need to look at why just setting everything up just seemed to be a challenge. Would touch one thing and something else would fall, or what is it that needs to be looked at, cleared up, cleaned up. So when we can use all of these tools, we start to change how we see things. And then the things that we see start to change. We don't see it as frustration and, like the first thing I said, everything's fighting me today. Well, no, it's just something needs to be looked at. What is that? What is that peace? Everybody's making me angry. Is it? Are they doing it? Or is it how you're seeing them? Again, right now, those relationships are really being put in our face. And again, it's my perception of them. So, is the person really being like that, or is it just the story that has now been formulated? Like that, written, that gets repeated. So that's our pull it out of the air as fast as we can. And half the time we don't even think about it. Do we do things that we use a tool, right? Or you come to yoga or you come to meditation, and for that hour, you're good. I feel so good. And then you get back in the car and you take the same way home. And maybe you run into the same people, or you're going through the same lights or whatever, and we get back into that rut. And then our brain goes, oh, I know where we are. I know what to do. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that person, rah, 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 rah. Right? And so I think we've talked about before how if you take a different route home, your brain has to be more engaged. Right? I can go from, on the way home from Trinity, from pretty much from 41 all the way down to Calumet and not remember a whole lot of what I was. Not that I'm not paying attention, I'm just not paying attention to the stuff around me because I know what it all looks like, for the most part. There are some times when I have those time-light shifts, I think that maybe new things pop up. But I've been driving that way for a good, 6 years, and then I taught preschool and came home that way 8 years before that. So am I really paying attention to anything around me? Nope, my brain goes on autopilot. So, what are some things that you can do that can help you change the way you see things? What are some things that maybe, we were talking, my mom was talking about, some of those memories that aren't the good ones, right? Those are easy to go, oh, here's a good bad memory, or a memory that wasn't so happy or joyous. And I'm like, yep, I've just decided I'm starting to delete those. Cancel, clear, delete. I need to make room. I need to make storage. And that's not something I want to keep up there. And she just laughs at me. But I am finding it's working more and more. I think I was telling you this story that something from 5th grade popped up. And I was like, why am I holding on to that? I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I'm going to remember something from 40 years ago. I don't need that. It wasn't a whole lot of anything. So, cancel, clear, delete. And I haven't thought about it until just now. So, cancel, clear, delete, right? I don't need it. I'd rather have some good memories from 5th grade pop up. Or good memories from yesterday. All right. So, with all this being said, let's take a moment. Because again, when we have a lot of cortisol running through our body, it's hard to shift things. So that's stress hormone. And right now there's a lot to be stressed about, right? I mean, so I don't even want to go into those things, but So if we can bring that cortisol back down, and that's why if movement is something you like, or music is something you like, playing an instrument, listening to it, coming to the gong baths, or the sound journeys, or we have a Reiki, oh no wait, do we have a Reiki circle? I don't remember. We may not have a Reiki circle this month. I think because we're having, I know I'm not quite saying it right, we're having a night of kirtan, which is where, you get to chant, and it's a call and repeat. So it's really exciting, and it's just so much fun. Even half the time I don't know the mantras by heart either. That's another great way. But it's about now having these, and now what can I change when I'm feeling this good? Right? I have a lot of people that come to me. I actually had somebody say one time when I asked her how she was doing, she goes, Angie, does anybody come to you when they're feeling good? And I was like, not enough. When we get to that point where something is just way, and we're feeling overwhelmed, then we work on trying to get out of that overwhelm. When you come in and it's more about the happy feelings, or you're in a good space, then we can move energy around more, because the cortisol isn't as high in all of these things. So anyways, so where I was getting to all that. Left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly. And we're just breathing into these spaces and these places in our body. And feeling that contact of our hands on the heart, on the belly. Again, engaging the senses. Nice big belly breaths that engage that vagus nerve, telling our body it's okay to rest and digest. Good. Feeling your feet on the ground or in your shoes, or maybe the fabric of the clothes you're wearing. Okay, and that would be my cat trying to get in the room because I'm in his room. But he didn't want to come in earlier. So if you can hear that knocking on the door. Are there other things around you that you can hear? What are 5 things in your vicinity that you can see? Giving yourself permission to relax. Giving yourself permission to let go of the stress, the anxiety, the worry. And nothing matters but right here, right now, in this moment. This breath. This heartbeat. And imagining those roots going deep into the earth so that you're good and grounded. Good. Good, good, good. Allowing your heartbeat to slow down. If it's safe for you to close your eyes, then close your eyes and go within. If you do that, is there a story that starts playing? And is it true? Is it 100% without a doubt true? I'll give you a hint that the answer is probably no. Or actually, 99.9% of the time. Which is just something I made up. But for the most part, it's not true. Even when we remember a memory, we change it a little bit. Kind of like Chinese telephones. Good. And if it feels good to keep your hands on your stomach and your belly, by all means, keep them there. If you would like to put them in your lap, if that feels better, by all means, do that. Okay. And so if you find that you're having trouble shifting, open your eyes. Again, find those 5 things around your room or in your space. What can you hear? What can you smell? What can you taste? What can you touch? Maybe not in that order. And we've done before where you bring, actually we haven't done that in a while. Why don't we do that today? We've got a few moments. I want you to grab a memory, a happy memory. And it doesn't matter if it's 100% real or if you've shifted it enough to make it a happy memory. Really, it's not about the memory as much as the feeling. So really, yes, we are looking for that feeling. Sometimes it's just easier when we have an event or someone or something, maybe our 4-leggeds, maybe our grandparents, our parents, our children, or our spouses, or our partners, or maybe even just a really good friend. It doesn't matter. Again, it's all about the feeling and bringing that feeling forward. Because we've had these experiences so that we know what these feelings feel like. And so, if you haven't already, you move that memory to the back and bring the feeling more forward. And I want this to be a feeling or a memory that makes you smile. And if you're having trouble connecting with something right now, that's okay. Just put it in your bank that throughout your day, find something that makes you smile. Find something that makes you happy. Whether it's a cup of tea, or a song on the radio, or we have this cute little squirrel now. It's a little statue squirrel that is doing yoga. And it makes a lot of people smile, and it's really cute. So it doesn't matter. As long as you can connect with it. It makes you smile, makes you happy. I have a statue of a cat down in the living room that one of my preschoolers a long time ago gave me. And it makes me smile. Or there's this little fat frog statue that sits next to my front door. Or we have bells on the door that ring, and just that, ooh, I am home kind of feeling. Or Rosie's snoring, so she's so cute right now. So whatever it is, take a moment, grab a hold of that, hold on to it. And just allow that feeling to then go into every little cell of your body. Allowing that energy to surround you. And anything that is not of that energy, that doesn't make you smile, it can just go away for now. And if you're saying, Angie, it's not that easy, you just need to practice it, because it can be. It really can be. We're just not used to it. Just like taking those nice deep belly breaths. Sometimes that's hard for people too. Until they get used to it. Oh, I got quiet outside. So that's quite lovely too. Sometimes the quiet is lovely. We don't get that much around here, do we? So, all right. So now that you have this happy or joyous or just something that makes you smile, imagine taking that energy, that feeling, and sprinkling it like glitter along your day today. Out in front of your day. Maybe the drive home. Or if you have to go to the store, sprinkle the store with it. So that throughout your day, you'll remember to smile or be able to connect in with it. Or if something or someone or that story gets going in your head, you can come back to this feeling. And when you grab that feeling and you're like, okay, I'm not so triggered at the moment. This is something I really need to be worked up about. Okay, I know we've talked about traffic a lot. You know, somebody cutting me off. I'm safe. People behind me are safe. I don't need to be worked up about it. Because they just drive on, right? They don't even stop for a moment. And I don't need to carry that story that they did this or they did that to me. So, that doesn't mean I don't have those moments of, okay, I don't need that. I don't need that aggravation today. All right, so, my suggestion, if you're having trouble finding something, is to find something. You'll see on my van, I've got, I don't know if it's supposed to be a coyote. I say it's a wolf. But a copper piece that I got from Sedona, or maybe it was Cottonwood. I can't remember. I also have an evil eye that's got, I call it a disco ball, right? It's I don't know if it's crystal or glass, but cut, and it sends the prisms everywhere. That makes me smile. So I've got all those little things in my car that just make me smile. Or outside the door, or inside the house, or at Trinity as I'm leaving, or walking in. So those little reminders that go, oh yeah, that makes me happy. So, with all that being said, thank you for joining us again, and go find something that makes you happy and smile today, and hold on to that, because we really need a lot more joy in the world than anything else. Or love. We need more love. Okay, I can think of all kinds of things. Love and gratitude, but when we're centered and we're happy and we're in that space, it ripples out. You know, I'm sorry. I know I said I was getting off of here, but You know, when we're angry and we lash out at somebody, and then that puts them in a mood because XYZ, and then, you know, and so on and so forth, and it ripples out. But the same thing goes for when you appreciate somebody, or you smile, or you say thank you, or if you're in a good mood. That can ripple out too. Okay, so go enjoy your day, and we will see you next time.